All right, welcome back. So we're making good progress. So we've got a solve button, which isn't really that useful, um, but we're making good progress. The first thing we're going to do is actually delete the solve button because we're not going to do it that way. That was just kind of for test. And so I'm actually just going to right click on it and delete it. You'll get good at making buttons, so I assure you losing one button won't be a big deal. And then whenever we deleted the button, it said, hey, solve button doesn't exist. And to be honest, this is a pretty simple thing. You can comment this out. That was command / or control / on Windows. You could delete that as well if you wanted. But what we want to do here is we want to use a tracking image. Sometimes I say tracking image, sometimes I say target image, sometimes I say trigger image. I always mean the same thing, right? I think the appropriate term is tracking image. That's the one I should use. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to download some images. So you can use this link here to download your images. I should take you to a page that looks like this, and you'll just click on download, and you'll just save these somewhere. I've already got them saved, so I'm going to cancel out of this. But what we want to do is we want to start using these images in ZapWorks Studio. So what we want to do is we want to drag in the two pill files. So go ahead and open up your two pill files. So find them on my computer here. So this is red pill and blue pill. So these we're just going to use as images, and you can actually just kind of drag and drop those, and you can see it adds blue pill and red pill. The other one, however, is the target. So it's this guy. It's our tracking image. And so for that, you're going to need to do it a little different. You're going to have to click this plus icon, and you're going to say train image file. And then you're going to have to go select that file. So it should be that guy right there, so target.png. And what it'll do is it will learn that image. And if you think about what's going on here, it's really cool. So it's able to identify that image from any angle, right? And so they have to kind of like do some analysis of it and figure out, hey, what would it look like if I was at a 45 or over here? So it's kind of neat what they do there with their target images. And so what we want to do is we've now got this target.png.zpt, so zapper tracking image. We want to drag the target over here onto our tree hierarchy. You can put it right on the root node, or you can put it farther down. It honestly doesn't matter, right? I do want it at the top level, so don't put it inside of Portrait Center or anything like that. But we just kind of want it somewhere in our hierarchy. If you want to rename it, you can. So this is our tracking image. And the interesting thing about the tracking image is it kind of makes its own coordinate frame. So we've kind of got portrait center, middle of the screen, portrait top, and then we've got tracking image. So now the tracking image is going to like stay in the real world, which is kind of cool. So whenever I put red pill and blue pill on here, I'm going to actually drop them onto the tracking image, which is pretty cool. And so now they're going to move in the world, right? So as the tracking images move, they move with it. These red pills and blue pills, you can leave the names. There's nothing wrong with the name, but I'm going to take off the extension just because it looks ugly, and I like for my things to be pretty. Interesting note, the names over here do have value to your scripts. Like you see that same name show up in your scripts. So once you've put it in your script, don't change them willy-nilly. I like to set them as the first thing and then leave the names alone. You can drag them around a little bit. So I used the position command here, and I'm just kind of dragging the arrows. So whenever I click this target image, I'm going to see this red pill and this blue pill. I think when Morpheus did it, he had red on the left, blue on the right, and I kind of like how it's in contrast to the two logos there. So interestingly enough, you could test it at this level. So you could publish it, and it'll do stuff. It won't really behave perfectly, but it'll do some stuff, right? So let's just see what it does. So I got mine up there, so I'm going to open up my app again. Looks like I've reset it since last time, which is fine. So I'm going to have to enter the hunt start code, hit scan. And what it'll do now is it'll pop up and it'll say unlocking. And it says, click the button to solve this clue. I need to change that text, right? So that's on my to-do list of things I need to do. And then what happens is whenever it finds the tracking image, it pops onto it, which is cool. Now, one thing that's unfortunate is that as you kind of like drag away, you can see it stays with them. And then at some point this happens. What the heck is going on there? What's happening, and it's doing what it's supposed to do, is the last known position was there, right? So if I kind of do it again, so it's on here, and I kind of drag them off this way. As soon as it loses it, you can see it just kind of stays up there. Working exactly as we programmed it. It's our job to make this behave differently, right? So that's fine. What I want to do in this first step, though, is I want to make them clickable. So if you click them, I want the submits to happen, and I want to fix that text at the top. So those are some of my goals this time. So let's fix the text first, because it'll be easy. And that is the instructions that are up here. And I'll wipe out what was there before, and I'll just say, I'll just phrase it the same as I did in the clue. So find the ClueKeeper and Zapper logos to begin your search for truth. I think I've actually got it on my clipboard, so I'll be a big cheater there. So find the ClueKeeper and Zapper logos to begin your search for truth. My hint came up. Excellent. My hint is not all that important. So once I've typed that and I hit OK, you can see that it changes it. That was a little lengthy, a little verbose. So you can either make it shorter or you can make the text smaller, right? So I'll make the text smaller. 18 is a little too small, maybe a nice 15. You can also put in line breaks where you choose. So if you wanted to put in line breaks somewhere, you can do that, or you can just kind of tweak it until it looks right. So now it'll say, find the ClueKeeper and Zapper logos to begin your search for truth. That's a little too much. I'm just going to say, find the ClueKeeper and Zapper logos. All right, that'll be just fine. Now what I also want to do is in main, when they find the tracking image, I want to change that text. So here's what I do for that. I grab the tracking image, drag it over. I want the event for when it's seen. It's very common to have a handler for seen, and then to also have a handler for not seen, right? And really what happens is this is just code that runs when you see it and code that runs when you don't see it. Now what we're going to do here is going to be just a little bit lame. We're just going to manually change that text. The reason I say it's a little bit lame is I'm going to show you later kind of a better way to do it. But what I'm going to do now is I inserted a local variable for the instructions. You can use a local variable if you want, but you can also just like get rid of the left-hand side of this, and you can just do stuff right on it, right? And you can set properties right here in code. And so we could set the text on here. So whenever this thing is seen, I want to say one thing. And when it's seen, what I want to say is I want to say, choose the pill that will help you see how deep the rabbit hole goes. If you don't want to type that whole thing, that's fine with me. But I'm just going to have it say, choose the pill that will help you see how deep the rabbit hole goes. You're in charge of your own clues, all right? I don't write this stuff. I'm just helping you with the technical side. And so whenever it's seen, I'm going to say that. And then whenever it's not seen, I'm going to go back to saying what it said before, right? So I'm going to go and copy this one. So I'm going to go back into main, and I'm going to choose this. And I'm just going to have it go back to saying, find the ClueKeeper and Zapper logos. If you care about line length, you can make these things shorter. I don't really care, so I'm not that worried about it. Cool, so now it should change messages depending on if I see the thing or I don't see the thing. It's going to flicker a little bit because sometimes the tracking image goes in and out, but we're gonna make it better as we go. But that's how it's going to work for now. The other thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to make clicking on blue pill submit something. So I'm going to have it do a pointer up. And then I'm going to make click on the red pill do something as well. So blue pill is going to submit the wrong answer. Oh, my semicolon was missing there. So blue pill. Interestingly, you can drag over the red pill and do the same thing, but you can also just type it, right? So if you just type the word red right there, and whenever you click on red, it submits red pill. So when you click blue pill, it submits blue pill. When you click red pill, it submits red pill. There's still going to be that issue where they kind of stay on the screen when you leave it. We're going to fix that in the next video. But we should have something here. So we're going to click on publish. We're going to publish it to our red pill, blue pill, as we've been doing. And then we're gonna give it a shot, right? So I'm gonna wait till it finishes publishing, and then as soon as it's finished publishing, I can just click scan again, and you can see that it'll unlock my new one, right? So my new one says at the top, find the ClueKeeper and Zapper logos, and then as soon as the tracking image comes in, you can see that the message changed. Now, if I lose the tracking image, so I kind of come back over here, the message will change back. So you can see it says find the ClueKeeper and Zapper logos, and then as soon as I hit it, you can see it pops over. If you're using the screen as your tracking image, expect for it to flicker in and out like mad. Computers make terrible tracking images. That's why I printed this thing, right? So now it says, oh, there it's kind of flickering a little. So now what should happen is if I click the blue pill, it'll say submit blue pill, are you sure? And I'll say yes. And it says the correct answer is red pill. So I finished with 0 points in that path. But if I reset it, then I'm gonna have to put in my hunt code again, which will be fine. So my hunt code was go, the life of a tester. And now when I hit scan, it'll say find the ClueKeeper Zapper logos. You'll notice that time it didn't take nearly as long as download because it caches it, which is cool. So as soon as I find them again, they pop back up. If I lose them, they're still on the screen, which we'll fix next time. But if I click red, it'll say submitting red pill. Are you sure? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to get a correct for that one. Cool. So we are doing some great stuff. Really, the only skills that we need to teach you is we need to teach you how to hide the pills when you use it, when you lose it. And then we're going to also teach you a little bit about states and controllers next time. Really important concepts that you need to learn before you get going. All right, that's it for this time. We'll see you next time.